Hello, fans. Welcome to this presentation of the NBA Sunday Night Action right here on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be Brooklyn going up against San Antonio. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. So with Drexler sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. They've got Brandon Roy. Robinson is out there with Nowitzki. Then it's Austin Reeves. And it's Wade in at the point. And for the Spurs, they've got Ginobili. Duncan out there with Muhammad. Then it's Bowen. And it's Parker in at the one. The shot's good from Roy.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Parker surveying the floor. And Wade sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Robinson.
Coming San Antonio ball.
Just 5 to shoot. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Bowen's shot is off.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check. And was maybe a step out of his range.
Shot from the top of the key, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Extraordinary work from Parker to find his teammate for the open basket. His passing is just phenomenal.
To the paint, here's Robinson. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Here's Ginobili. Excellent D from Wade. Brooklyn with the ball. Passes to Reeves. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, and Robinson is a franchise-defining talent, a chiseled, powerful center, a remarkable leader.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. Both good from the line that time.
Really always a plus to have a big guy stroke it from the line like that. The soft touch on full display.
Out to the right wing. Here's Muhammad. Back to Parker. Robinson with the block.
And there you see why Robinson is the anchor of this defense. Massive wingspan, easily allowing him to turn away shots.
The Spurs shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Now here's Nowitzki. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. And it's Wade with the jam.
Oh, reversed it home. That was pretty.
Agreed. The agility on display.
Yes, sir. Power and grace. That had it all.
Now here's Parker. Rejected by Nowitzki.
Nice timing on the rejection from Dirk. His teammates like when he hustles on the defensive end like that.
Stolen by Roy. 4-on-3 break. And here's Reeves outside. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
And now the first timeout called here for the Spurs.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Yeah, and you know, that's going to be the focus of this timeout. They need to come up with a spark to get the offense going.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Here's Ginobili. Again, the miss by the Spurs. For 3. They get it back. And the pass to Nowitzki. Now here's Wade. Covered by Parker. Back to Nowitzki. 6 on the shot clock. Roy, that's a 2-pointer. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
And the dunk by Parker.
Parker is a blur out there. I mean, this guy, he may be the fastest player in the league with the ball in his hands.
They get the rebound. Kicks it out to Nowitzki. Outside Roy. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Here's Ginobili. Banked in off the glass.
And one
once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now here's Nowitzki. Still scoreless. And the dunk by Robinson.
I mean, just throwing himself on the offensive glass, Robinson knows he has the size and length to capitalize there.
Parker against Wade. Parker inside. Feeds it to Muhammad. Tries again. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Roy, that's a two-pointer.
A willingness to get physical. Roy takes the hit and still gets off the shot.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
At the line for the away team.
That's good for Roy. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Clyde Drexler's checked in for Brooklyn. Roy hits them both.
Free throw shooting is about mechanics, confidence, and your mental approach. He's locked in from there most every night.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Brooklyn with the ball. 9-point game. Johnson with the block. Ori against Nowitzki. It's stolen by Wade. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Kicks to Roy. Wants to get it to Robinson and does. Roy attack. Look out! Bang!
And just showing off for the crowd a little bit there. Roy enjoys putting on a show.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
For San Antonio, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. Drexler right side. Good. That's Iverson who picks up the assist.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
So as we end the first quarter.
20.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Brooklyn.
Their defense has been so aggressive right out of the gate, wasting no time shutting shooters down here with authority.
You know, points off turnovers is something else they've excelled in. I expect the opponent at least to try to squeeze that orange a little better.
So with Davis sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. They've got Nowitzki, Allen Iverson out there with Drexler. Then it's Robinson, and it's McDaniel at the 3 spot. San Antonio trails by 11. Down low, here's Ori. The shot that time, not on target. Some solid D from Nowitzki. Here's McDaniel. The steal. Here's Barry. Over McDaniel. Barry misses. Now here's Nowitzki. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. And that one's good by Drexler.
I like seeing Drexler get it done inside, punishing the defense for letting him get in that tight.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Pass to Glover. Ori against Nowitzki. Drexler with the steal. Here's McDaniel driving in. Deep 2 from Robinson. Poke loose.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Udrich scanning the 4. Brooklyn with the rebound. Lobbed up there for Robinson. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Timing important when you're doing the alley-oop dunk now, and David Robinson
San Antonio
perfect
with the timeout.
in timing his lead.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Let's see.
And a whole new lineup up here for Brooklyn.
All right, fans, that was your youth dance squad.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Robinson. Davis with the double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
That's a jump ball.
And San Antonio has possession. Shot clock at 5. Here's Ginobili. The teardrop falls in.
Nice work by Duncan to lay into that defender.
He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Clark, Kyrie Irving has got to be as skilled a player as we've seen in the NBA.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if I've ever seen a better layup maker than him. And I played against Isaiah Thomas and read about Nate Archibald and some of the other great small ball guards. But, man, this kid, Kyrie Irving, well, young man now, 50, 40, 90 on a season. And a lot of times he's making acrobatic layups against 6'9" and 7-foot guys. Special.
Here's Roy. And it's blocked, and he keeps control of the ball. Parker against Irving. Passes it to Bowen.
2 minutes remaining.
Sabonis grabs the board. Brooklyn leading by 13. Roy. And then Roy with the dunk.
Slashing inside with major assertiveness. Roy, a big-time problem when he's getting to the rim like that.
Parker against Irving. Sabonis with the steal. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break and finished off by Davis.
There's no stopping that. AD is too long and strong to bother that alley-oop.
Parker against Irving. And it's sent back by Sabonis. Stolen by Ginobili. Duncan outside. Parker outside. Robinson against Davis. Clock at 6. Robinson kicks to Parker. Inside. The shot missing. Good work defensively by Reeves. Loads it up for Davis. Outside, Sabonis. Davis down low and a missed layup. San Antonio trails by 15. Here's Robinson, and the dunk by Robinson.
Boy, good heads-up play by Bowen, taking advantage of an opening with a nice pass there.
And here's Reeves outside. Good on the three-point shot. Reeves has got 6.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Outside for Robinson. It's up a 3. That shot is no good. And he's 1 for 3 from the floor. The pass to Reeves. Fires away from outside. Doesn't go that time. And so it's Brooklyn with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. Their defense has been active and effective. And we've got more on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Brandon Roy really has his fingerprints all over this one.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
Muhammad out there with Duncan. Then there's Ginobili. And it's Tony Parker. And it's Bowen in at the small forward position. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half.
An elite scorer, demonstrating once again how fast he can fill it up.
And so it's Ginobili bringing it up now for the Spurs. They trail by 16. Takes the 3. Rebound, Brooklyn. On the wing, Brandon Roy. 11 points in the game. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade.
Well, I would think Roy has to be pleased with his play right now. It always feels good when you find your rhythm out there.
And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago. D-Wade with an excellent pass there.
San Antonio trails by 20. San Antonio calls timeout.
Yeah, things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
And you know what, guys? If for nothing else, just to slow things down a little bit, change it up somewhat.
Antonio answers.
And the Spurs making a change here. Rose is checked in. And then for Brooklyn, Robinson's checked in for Sabonis. McDaniel comes in for Brandon Roy. And it's Drexler in for Austin Reeves. There's the feed to Muhammad. Tipped away. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
Spurs ball.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
San Antonio making a switch here. Barry's checked in. Here's Rose, and it's sent back by Nowitzki. And he gets it back. Here's Muhammad. Second shot opportunity. Drexler outside. Nowitzki inside. Covered by Muhammad. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Drexler. And he gets it to go. And it's 6 points for Clyde Drexler.
Well, Drexler's so smooth, makes it look effortless, but he does have to get tricky inside to beat that contact.
Here's Parker. Robinson with the block. Oh, and here we go. Drexler with nobody back. Wade for three. Here's Robinson. Stolen by Rose. Here's Barry. Hasn't made one yet. Will it go? Pass to Bowen. From past the arc. Good on the triple.
And this is Bowen's specialty on offense. A legit threat from beyond the arc.
Drexler drop. Oh, what a finish!
Good. Much respect for the bounce of Drexler. I mean, this guy knows how to get up and throw it down with flair.
Muhammad pass to Parker. Pass to Barry. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
And how about the stroke there from Barry? Has such an effortless release on his three ball. Yeah, he's shown terrific control of the pace and the rhythm of this offense.
You know, numbers don't always tell the story, guys, but his assist totals do paint the picture here. I mean, he's got everybody involved.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. The defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Iverson's checked in. Drexler with the block. Iverson against Parker. And the dunk by Iverson.
You know, I think the undervalued part of AI's game is his athleticism. I know he's not that big, but he's an amazing athlete. This guy was an all-state football player in high school, and he plays with some of that football mentality, too.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
Big group substitution here for Brooklyn.
Make some noise.
1:14 left in the third quarter. Parker against Iverson. Parker passes to Massenberg. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists tonight.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Here's Iverson. Kicks it out to Love. And it's Brooklyn scoring again.
He's a talented shooter. Love doesn't avoid the mid-range like others might.
Here's Glover. No scoring in this one. There's 42 seconds left in the third. And it's sent back by Sabonis. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sabonis. Ginobili, he's checked in for San Antonio. Here is Ori. Parker outside. Ori passes to Massenberg. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The 3 from Johnson. Rebound, Brooklyn. To the inside. Parker with the steal.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, don't give them another possession here.
And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
Substitution for your Spurs, Tim Duncan.
Parker.
11 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Parker outside. Here's Duncan. Nice D from Sabonis. And so it's Brooklyn cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And we'll be right back after this. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, platinum level dime dropping there, fellas. Accurate and on time.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So with Irving on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Roy out there with Anthony Davis. Then it's Iverson. Then it's Austin Reeves. And it's Sabonis in at the 5 spot. Here's Muhammad. And Davis sends it back.
Expert timing by Davis on the block. Right when the ball was at its apex, he got it.
Here's Duncan. Iverson grabs the board. Brooklyn with the ball. They lead by 24, their biggest margin. Sabonis' shot is off. Iverson against Parker. In the corner, it's Ginobili. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Puts up a deep 3. Offensive rebound. Sabonis for 3. Roy buries the long-range jumper.
One of Roy's specialties is the catch and shoot. Outstanding in that regard.
Roy's gone 50% from deep tonight, making 2 of 4. Parker against Iverson. Over to the wing. On the wing, Duncan. Wide open shot is on the money. And that's now 6 points for Tim Duncan.
All too easy for Duncan there. Feels like he can take these shots whenever he wants to.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
Parker with no one around. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
Yeah, Parker's ability to stretch it really forces the defense to contest him from out there.
Yep, that one goes.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Yeah, and, you know, that's going to be the focus of this timeout. They need to come up with a spark to get the offense going.
Brooklyn making some changes. Robinson's checked in for Sabonis. Drexler comes in for Austin Reeves. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Iverson. Ball's knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. That went off Robinson. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. And Davis sends it back. Irving with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. Here's Roy. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Brooklyn.
Phenomenal work on the defensive end so far. That stands out the most. They've made it their mission to block shots and make things hard for the opposition.
And another thing, guys, they've dominated on fast breaks tonight, outrunning their opponent the entire game.
Drexler dishes to Irving. Back to Drexler.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Duncan grabs the rebound. Duncan's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. And he's good on the 3-ball. Ginobili's got 10 points here in the second half.
I love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket. And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Here's Parker. Up and in on the way.
And when you give Parker room to work his magic down inside, he knows how to finish with style.
Here's Drexler. And finished off by Drexler.
Assisted by
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Ugh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there.
Boy, I'd love to get a replay on that one. Let's keep it handy so we can see it again.
Irving against Parker. Passes it to Ginobili. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Just a great playmaking sequence by Parker there, coming away with the assist.
And finished off by Drexler. Well, a huge bucket there to stifle the crowd.
Yeah, very little to cheer about for them at the moment.
This one for 3. And there's Ginobili. That's good on the assist by Parker.
It's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency. He could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
First team foul. At the line for the away team, Clyde Drexler.
The free throw drops for Drexler.
You know, Drexler's game is just so smooth and potent. Runs the floor beautifully, shoots the ball with tremendous confidence, and plays like a guy who can't be stopped.
Love's check in for Brooklyn. Parker kicks to Rose. The Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Glover. Rebound, Brooklyn. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Second personal
One on
foul.
Ginobili.
By Drexler getting jiggy with it. Nice little move that time, baiting the defender in tight and drawing the foul.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Sloan's checked in. Both free throws good from Drexler. Well, there's no question, and he welcomes this, that Anthony Davis shoulders a heavy load on the defensive end.
And he should, and he does. I mean, he's a true anchor. He protects the rim. He can guard out on the perimeter. He communicates well. He's got an excellent basketball IQ. And he's a guy that can cover up a lot of mistakes from his teammates.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It's Parker outside. Anthony Davis with the rebound. On the wing, Drexler. And he comes up with the deuce.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. any hope of a comeback diminished.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.